what's up guys, welcome back to another video. This is a reaction to 5 things Americans do that drive Brits crazy, and I've just clocked this video's got a lot of dislikes. It's got more likes, but it's got a lot of dislikes. God damn. So I guess it's getting into the touchy subjects. I can also see here that they've done the same but opposite way around, so maybe I'll check that one I'll check that one out as well. But yeah, I guess people get offended by this. I mean, we know how the world is. People get annoyed about certain things, but maybe they say things that are actually worth not liking. I don't know, but we're going to check this out. Hopefully going to enjoy. If you want to see some more reactions like this, let me know in the comments, and all that links are also in the description of my Patreon if you want to see some reactions that I can't post to YouTube for whatever reason. But let's check this out and see what 5 things Americans do that drive Brits crazy. Hi, and I'll see if it drives me crazy or if I've even thought about it before.
Joel and Leah.
And today's video is 5 things Americans do that drive Brits crazy.
Crazy.
Crazy town.
Crazy.
Crazy.
Mental.
You have sent us a crazy town. Okay, just so you know guys, before we get going, we have made this exact same video in reverse. So things that Brits do that drive Americans crazy.
Yeah.
Just so you can't get too offended.
Lots of you will probably be triggered by this video and be like, oh my gosh, I'm so offended. But we have just done this for Brits as well, and on how annoying Brits are. So Triggered. I'm triggered. No.
Do I watch this video?
Get over it. We make fun of everyone, regardless of who it is, even ourselves.
Take it with a pinch of salt.
Pinch of salt. Please.
Honestly, because don't take it personally.
None of it is personal.
Personally.
It's all a joke.
Yeah.
British people are so
I feel like I can see why there's so many dislikes. I feel like I'm being spoken to like I'm a child.
sarcastic. I don't want to see any hateful comments, okay? None.
If you're going to leave a comment, just leave an emoji.
Yeah.
Just leave an emoji.
Just leave a dagger emoji.
Yeah, if you want to say something horrible, that'll do.
So obviously, the UK and the USA are very close. There are lots of...
This video is so quiet, but then it's so loud. I'm looking at my OBS and it looks quiet, but it seems really quiet when I'm listening to it.
Similarities between the countries.
Yeah.
But there are also a lot of differences, and we both piss each other off.
So, shall we kick it off with the first thing that they do?
Yeah.
Okay, the first thing they do is say, "Oh my God, say water."
Say water.
Say it again.
Say water.
Say table.
It's so cute.
Oh, wait, table sounds the same.
Table.
Say table. Oh wait, no, it's not as good as water. Water.
Yeah, just saying that I love your accent. You like, it's a compliment, I guess. But
why is that drive you crazy? What? How is a compliment being taken as a thing that drives you crazy?
It's just when you hear it all the time.
Yeah.
And it's the making fun, like, oh, you say water so funny. It's like, no, we just pronounce water.
Plus, I've never been to the US, so I've never actually experienced it. Maybe if I was there and I heard that 10 times every hour, maybe I'd understand. But even then, it's not from a bad place.
The letters.
Yeah. Yeah, it can be a bit annoying, just constantly like coming back to the accent. It's like, yeah, we speak differently. Carry on talking.
Yeah, which I know is kind of ironic because we've made videos like, oh, Americans say this, but let's ignore that. We know we're hypocrites.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Also, on the note of accents, like, what's even more irritating and annoying and uncomfortable is when Americans try and change like how they speak a little bit to sound like us, but they're still, because it's so jarring, like, it's really hard not to cringe. They'll be like, oh, I was just like laughing at you, and they're like, oh, it's so painful, I can't deal. I don't know, maybe it's a slip of the tongue, but it's too much.
It's just, it doesn't bother me, but
I find it hilarious. Okay, this next one's to do with the service industry in America. It's when they take your plates away too soon. So say if you and I were eating and you finish first because you eat fast, and so do I. But you finished even faster than I have.
Correct.
And they've taken your plate, but I'm still eating.
Yeah, hate that.
Does that happen? If that's the thing that happens, that's wild, man.
Nah.
I've said it before, I'll say it again.
Does it happen commonly though? Has it just happened on occasion? Is this just a thing that does happen? If they see someone's finished, then maybe you're just sort of having a little break from your food, they'll just take it. That's never happened to me here. I've never been to the US, I can't say how it is, but here I don't think it's happened. But I am also a fast eater, so I'll be the one who's finished my food first, so...
Again, don't do that to me.
Don't clear Brit's plates until everyone has finished eating. It's so rude. So rude.
It's literally grinds on my gears.
And
but what the bro, this you just say to them, don't take. That's not rude. That's just how they do it. What the? I mean, maybe in terms of if you're from the US and it's one of those things that also annoys you, but maybe if it's a thing in that country where it's just they do it, then that's not. I don't think it's coming from a rude place. It's like two cultures combining. You're gonna get things wrong. I don't know. It's like they're talking down on them. I'm kind of confused.
You know why? We know that
you're efficient.
Your views is that, yeah, you don't want a dirty plate sat in front of you. You want it gone as quickly as possible. But that is so rude in the UK.
Yeah, it's so rude. I hate it.
Yeah.
It makes me feel like I'm the only one eating.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, this sucks so much. Titties, titties, titties.
Titties, titties.
Also, if everyone's got their plates still and people are coming to the end of it, you know, sometimes you're like, oh, can I try a bit of that?
Yeah.
And I've still got my plate there.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So
wait, do they mean the waiters or do they just mean people eating with you?
Drives us nuts.
Yeah. That drives us nuts.
That drives us nuts. That's another thing that drives us nuts. The next thing that drives us absolutely crazy, bonkers, is
So posh. They're so posh.
the inability to use indoor voices.
We wrote this down before we filmed the video, and I was like, I'm sorry, but they're just always loud.
Yeah. Americans are, we've spoken about it before, physiologically, the way that American accents work, the sound reverberates more than British voices. We won't bore you with the explanation, just take it as correct.
Yeah.
Americans are just louder in general than we are.
There's no such thing as an indoor voice with them.
No.
Can I just, so indoor voice.
For it.
Yeah,
We make fun of everyone.
To be fair, they're being quiet whilst being loud.
Crazy.
Crazy town!
Crazy!
Oh, it's also for a video, but come on. But I have heard that before. Again, I can't really say I've experienced it because I've never been, but I have heard that, but I don't know if it's true or not. It's just one of those sort of stereotypes.
Than British voices. We won't bore you with the explanation, just take it as correct.
Yeah.
Americans are just louder in general than we are.
There's no such thing as an indoor voice with them.
No, every
There's no
conversation
chatting.
is sort of a few decibels higher.
Imagine if one of us was American, we'd have to constantly adjust the levels of the sound.
Oh, yeah.
I do find it quite weird how it's the way they're talking is like they're referring to everyone. That Americans, they are. It's not all people. Every person in a country is going to have a section of people that are a certain way.
Yeah.
One would be shouting,
Oh, yeah.
or just they're normal, and the other one would be...
Absolutely. It wouldn't work.
It's a bit
This
offensive,
wouldn't work.
but I can't deal. I can't deal with the...
My dad's the other way around though. Like he's so annoying. In America, we laugh at it. Because there's this one restaurant we went to, Outback, if you know it. It's an Australian restaurant in America.
Cool.
Australian. Anyway.
Oh, yeah. Genres of food that you do.
Australian. It's just burgers being like, it's Australian. Anyway, we went there and the waitress obviously is very loud and she has to be because she's talking to like over all of the restaurant. And my dad is very quiet and she goes, anything for you, sir? Like drink wise. And my dad went, nothing for me, thank you, I'm fine. And she was like, what? And he's like, nothing for me, thank you, I'm fine. And she's like, huh? And we had to translate for him because he speaks very quietly and he doesn't just give one answer just going, no thanks. He always has to go, nothing for me, thanks, I'm fine. We're like, Dad, why can't you just A, speak louder, or B, just say no thanks?
No
like
thanks.
You're confusing her by
That's
just going,
so funny.
nothing for me, thank you, I'm fine. And
That's
it's just
really
so funny. It was a
funny.
complete clash of cultures where he was just very quiet and saying a million words. And she's just like, huh? Huh?
The next one is their overzealous patriotism in that very posh accent.
Yes.
It's just too much.
Yeah.
The kids, the schools, the national anthem,
Standing
the
up
lot.
in your classroom, like with your hand on your heart, or a baseball. So this is funny.
Yeah.
My mum and dad went to a baseball game in America.
Oh, the celebrations after they score.
No.
No.
That's
Even
a whole other
worse.
thing. But they, before the game, they all stand up, hand on heart, sing their national anthem. And I was like, oh, so what did you do? Just sat there? And Mum went, no, I stood up and joined in. I was like, Mum, you're not even American. And she is just imagining her standing there, Debbie Wood, this British woman, like, joining in with the song. Oh, it is so fun. She doesn't even know the words
God,
either.
that's
So
amazing.
it's so good.
What was she like?
I don't know. I wasn't there.
Oh,
But
what?
then we went to a
Okay.
basketball game all
Yeah.
together, and me and my brother's girlfriend refused to join in. We just sat there like we're like, this isn't our like. I'm happy to watch. Like, go for it. America's great. But we're just like, I'm not joining in. This isn't my country. Whereas the rest of my
mum and dad
family,
did
yeah,
it.
all there like, I don't know the words, but I'm
Did
gonna
you
do
do
it.
it?
Yeah. I think Ben stood up, but I don't think Ben did the heart thing. But then me and Caitlin were just like, are we on?
Be like, why aren't they doing it?
Plus, I'm also like, that's essentially pledging allegiance to America, and I'm sorry, but I'm English.
Yeah, fair play. I'd probably join.
God save the Queen, yeah.
God save
the Queen, yeah.
Yeah.
We've never sung our national anthem in class or at school. We don't even know the words.
I don't even know the words.
God. I do know the words, but I'm not like. I mean, obviously, I only really feel patriotic when it's like a sporting tournament, and mainly only football. When it's the World Cup or the Euros, or that's when I'm the only real time that I feel somewhat patriotic. Other than that, when I say patriotic, I mean like, I don't know. I just don't. Obviously, I'm happy to live where I live. I'm happy to be from where I'm from, but like I've never felt some sort of patriotism in terms of. I don't know in what way, but like I don't sing the national anthem. I don't do this. I don't do that. What are sort of patriotic things to do for an American? If I was to say a patriotic thing to do, I guess it is just singing the national anthem in school or like things like that, right? But I guess that's a sort of thing that when you're older, it helps the country. Maybe people look at it and it's like, okay, that's a bit over the top, but that sort of thing helps the country when people age and they still feel a certain way towards a country. But vice versa, if you're from a country where it's the opposite, maybe people sort of don't feel as much of a connection to the country. I guess that's important for the country in terms of maybe you'll fight for your country, you'll do this for your country, you'll do that. Again, I'm not the type of person to do that, but there are obviously patriotic people who are patriotic people in Britain, but it's nowhere near to the same amount of people. Nowhere near. Like for sporting events, you don't have it unless it's like a big boxing fight or what other things would it be? The World Cup, international tournaments, but not for like club games and stuff. But
God save our gracious
Queen. God save our gracious Queen. We don't know.
And that's not because we're not proud to be British. It's countries.
Yeah, and we'd all rather not sing.
Yeah. Please don't make me sing.
Don't make us sing.
Please
don't make us all do the same thing all together. There's nothing worse, is there? Turn to the person next to you and say your name and make friends with the person next to you.
Oh.
Stop. I'd rather die.
Yeah, literally.
Literally rather die. And the last one is...
The last one is the fact that you always assume you're the only country that has freedom of speech. And I get it. We've touched on it before. We've had some comments being like, yeah, but we're the only country that puts it in our constitution or whatever it is.
And we haven't got a written constitution.
And we haven't got that. And by saying that hate speech in the UK can get you in prison. But I'm like, that doesn't mean we haven't got freedom. Technically, I guess it does mean we don't have complete freedom to say anything.
Speech.
But we don't want people who say hateful things to be allowed to live.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
If anyone incites racism and hatred and things like that, they deserve to be locked up. And every British person's like, here, get them locked up. No one wants them.
Yeah, definitely.
So I don't understand. And that's why we don't have the sort of equivalent of the Ku Klux Klan in the UK. Because we wouldn't stand for that. And they're instantly in jail.
So that's an interesting topic. Because if you're in the Ku Klux Klan, back in the day, would you have been jailed for it? Would you have gone to jail if you were in the Klan? Obviously now, would you? Because people know what it's about. Would you go to jail for being it and like, I don't know, being at rallies, saying all this stuff? I guess if it's full freedom of speech, you can say literally whatever you want. That's a weird topic because there's obviously things I think anyone will agree is way too much, but then if it's freedom of speech, you can say literally everything. See, I'm sort of on the fence here. I can sort of see the perspective of there's a level, like, don't get me wrong, people can say a lot of things because people need to say crazy things and have all these different opinions because then it's sort of, I think that's how humans will evolve and change their opinions and stuff and all this sort of stuff, advances and just in general, that's how humans have been. But there's like a limit. Like if you're saying like, do terrible things to these people because they're like this or just this and that, would that be counting as, like, say, I don't want to say it because it's going to get this video demonetized or something, but just say a certain race or a certain disability or a certain whatever people hate upon, and then someone has a different thing about them, and then someone's inciting to do terrible things to them. Would that go under freedom of speech, or would that go under a completely different thing where you could get jailed in the US? There is a limit for me. But again, that's probably the difference. Like there is freedom of speech here, but I guess in terms of the actual term, it isn't because certain things there's no freedom. But at the same time, has there been people locked up here? I think there was a famous case, someone get locked up recently because they were like, inciting a lot of racism towards a religion. But I think if it was the same thing in the US, that person was in the US saying the same thing, they wouldn't have been jailed, I guess. That's the difference. But you can say a lot of things here. I think the difference between like England or Britain and the US is quite small, as opposed to Russia or China or North Korea, where it's a completely different world, where you just have to be arse licking the people at the top, or you have to just be a certain way, you know. But it is weird. I mean, this is a touchy subject because I know a lot of people will think you've got to have the ability to say whatever, but I think there's got to be some sort of limit. There has to be, but I don't know. There's a level to it. I don't know. It's an interesting topic.
Instantly. So I don't understand why people are like, yeah, we're the most free country in the world. I'm like, no, you're not. Like, every country is free, and we just don't stand.
I don't know if every country is free, but a lot of European countries are, I guess. Like places like Japan, I don't know how it is in Japan. Australia, I feel like Australia would be the same as somewhere like the US or England or the UK. Canada will be the same. So maybe like the Scandinavian countries will be the same. But a lot of countries aren't. A lot of countries are terrible.
And for bull beep.
Yeah. I was going to say we'd rather be safe than be free, but we're neither, are we?
Not safe.
We're not safe anymore, but not free. But yeah,
well, this is the thing. It's just,
I do agree.
Do you feel free?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I can say anything.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the thoughts that I have are not necessarily going to offend people.
No.
But I do feel like I can say anything.
Because you're a nice person, but anyone who does have those thoughts doesn't even deserve to live, so...
Yeah, the freedom of speech.
Fucking hell.
I completely agree.
But anyway, America, yeah, I guess you are free. Like, congrats.
Congrats.
You're a very free country.
Bro, I can't finish it. I can see why there's got a lot of dislikes. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, there are obviously negatives about every country. It's the way that you come across and you explain it. God damn. I might check this one out, but I might struggle to watch it because this was a hard watch. I'm not gonna lie. In classrooms, we don't say the national anthem; we say the Pledge of Alliance. What is the Pledge of Alliance? Is that I therefore declare the... What is it? I don't even know. I'm proud of your mum for showing respect. Joe, she's a classy lady. I'll never apologise for my patriotism, but I would always stand for another country's anthem just as respect. Yeah, of course. I mean, that's what it's about. People be like singing the national anthems. Go for it. There's nothing wrong with that. If you've got some sort of love for a country that's given you a lot, what's the problem with that? I mean, again, I'm not really someone who's that patriotic. I mean, in terms of like singing and stuff or feeling a certain way in general, but there are times where I do feel that way, as I feel most people do. It's a sign of respect for the country you decide to take. Yeah, exactly. Like, you got to show the respect in another country. It's not you, they're not in your country, you're in their country. Like, you got to do certain things that fall under their sort of, not rules, but their ways of life. They make fun of us getting triggered, then proceed to insult. I know, bro. I was like, what the fuck? I mean, for this one, I assume it's probably the same, but we're going to check it out probably soon. But this was a hard watch, so I don't know if I'll be able to watch all of it because it is... I was cringing a lot and all that. But yeah, hopefully enjoyed. And I mean, I think these two have made like a career out of going to the US. I think people like their videos and stuff. And they've, I guess, this is like probably the start of their YouTube journey and stuff. But... yeah, this is that. Hopefully enjoyed, and until next time, like, subscribe, and peace.